And we should be live. Long time no see. I see some people in the chat already. It is Friday, August 12th. DJ Ian, Ali BHG, Brad Palmer, Harjot, Sapand, TTC Explorer, JK, Mark S, Marie Palmer's here, Mark H is here. Pretty sure I already said Ali BHG, Gertej, Who's Jaw, Fact Zero, Jeanette Morales is here, COVID Hippo, Mark S, Linda J. Jackson, Evo's Music Channel, Eliz P, Michael Nguyen, PGH, Gaby, Yahia, Reggie, Mike Zuger, James Smith. All right, I'm already starting to lose my voice. Welcome back. It's been a while since I've live streamed on this channel, and it's been a while since I've live streamed from home on this channel. Just to catch you up to speed. Oh, Action Kid is here. He says, I sound like Johnny Strides to him. You'll notice my voice is a little more hoarse than normal. I was hoping, I guess, for this stream to be under different circumstances, to just kind of hang out, chat, talk about my trip to Amsterdam, what it's like to be back in Toronto, play some videos in the background, but some stuff went down over the week. Just to bring you up to speed before we start playing some videos. I don't know if this is going to be the longest stream in the world, maybe an hour, little over that. We're just going to hang out. Feel free to ask me anything about the trip or about what I've been going through the past week. So when I got back from Amsterdam on Saturday, I wasn't really feeling that great, but I was also probably jet lagged. I didn't really sleep the night before. I didn't really eat well on my trip. I just kind of ate whatever looked delicious. I drank a whole lot. I went to coffee shops more than I probably should. So I just thought I was jet lagged and tired. And then Sunday, I still wasn't feeling well. I had a bit of a fever. Did a COVID test, negative. Sorry guys, my OBS just dropped right there. I have no idea why that happened, but it is reconnected. So I think we're back. So I don't know at what point the stream cut out, but long story short, I got a COVID test on Monday, and I was positive, and the symptoms started to get worse and worse, so I just decided to, continue staying at home. I didn't really say anything in the chat on the channel or anything when I was doing my... See, I can't even think during my premieres. Thank you, Clayton Crawford, for the $2. Thank you very much. I have a tea. This is one of the few things that tastes really good to me right now. So by Tuesday, I didn't really have bad symptoms. Like, I had a fever, a slight cough, aches and pains, chills, but nothing that bad, except Tuesday I had the worst throat pain of my life. It was so bad I couldn't even talk. I was coughing up like blood, which apparently is normal when that happens. So that really sucked. And I think that's why my voice is still kind of destroyed now. So I had about 2 days of living hell, thanks to my throat pain. And also I've been like massively fatigued. I still am, but I have some good news. Since I had 2 boxes of tests dropped off, I was testing every day. And on Wednesday, the test line on my test strip was faded. It was only like half as strong as it was the previous day. And then yesterday, the test line was, which was actually, I had completed my 5 days of isolation, but I mean, there's no need to rush going outside. So yesterday, that test line was very faded. And today I tested and there was no line at all. So unless I screwed up the swab, I'm testing negative. So I think I have virtually no or very little viral load in me. So I've done my isolation. I'm testing negative. I still have to like wear a mask if I go out in public spaces till Tuesday or so. I'm just going to avoid hanging out with people or like interacting with people directly until then, just to be safe. But at least as far as the virus is concerned, I think I'm out of the water. So yesterday when I typed my message in the community tab saying I felt great, what I meant was I felt great relative to how I felt in days prior. Yeah, not that I'm feeling 100% or anything. I am just super duper fatigued, and I've got this hoarse hoarse throat or hoarse voice. But everything else is fine. I've got no other symptoms. And I'm like, I think I'm out of the water. It's just how long for the fatigue to go away? I don't know. I've had friends who said they felt tired for weeks and weeks after. So there we go, that you're up to speed. And earlier today, I went out and I recorded my first video. The first time I went outside in 6 weeks, actually. My Fitbit step counter is pathetic. It was like 30,000 a day when I was in Amsterdam. And it's been like 1,000 a day for the last week. Anyways, let's just fire up a video. I've got a few. This was from my last night in Amsterdam. And this is a failed video. I'll play the sound for the intro. Because why not? Hey everyone, it is Friday, August 5th. The time right now is 11:05 p.m. and the temperature is around 26 degrees Celsius. So I gave up on recording this for some reason, and then I decided to do the subway video, which I posted yesterday. JK says, love all the bikes. Faxero says, gonna have mega antibodies now, woohoo. PGH tested positive yesterday, but so far less severe symptoms. Well, hopefully you have a smooth ride through it, PGH. Brad Palmer says, are you having a drink tonight? No, I'm gonna lay off the alcohol for at least a few more days, at least until I get my energy back. I'm feeling like pretty fatigued right now. But I missed you guys. I missed streaming. I missed the interaction. I wanted to get back in touch. So today was kind of a test run. I went out on my e-scooter and I kind of felt like I had mono or something. Like I wasn't all there. I was there enough to like safely operate and everything, but I think there's still a lot of fatigue to overcome. This was during there was some Pride festivities going on. Hopefully the volume level is okay. So no Brad Palmer. I'm gonna stick to tea, and there is a Bellator MMA event going on that I'm gonna watch after this. So hopefully I can stay awake for that. I've been going to bed at like 10:30 every night. Alex says brain fog. Yeah, apparently that's a thing, and it can take a while to go away here. Some people haven't got rid of it. Rich says, good to see you. Alex says, perhaps you should take the weekend to rest up a bit. Well, that was the idea. I wanted to get out and get a video done today because I think there's a little bit of Amsterdam fatigue with my videos. The views have been going down. I need to get some Toronto stuff up. But I might put my Amsterdam airport video up on Sunday. Ken Continuum says, rest up, buddy. No stinking virus can keep the strides turned down. Well, this one kept me down for about a week. Gaby says the fatigue lasts about 10 days in mild cases. Is that from the onset? If that's from the onset, then I'm probably pushing 8 or 9 days now. So hopefully there's just a few more days to go. JK says no Jays, or I don't know what's going on with the Blue Jays. I have not been doing anything this week. I haven't binge watched. You'd think having a week to yourself at home would be awesome. You would catch up on any series you wanted to see, movies you missed out on. I'd get a lot of work done. I thought, I'd get all my stuff edited, but I've had like maybe 20 or 30 minutes of focus per day in me. It's been kind of ridiculous. Every video you have seen, I have edited at the last possible moment and spent 0 time on the title or thumbnail, just kind of uploaded it. It's been like that, so I've been unable to really do anything, which is kind of I guess, the most frustrating part. JK says the Jays are losing 0-8 to Cleveland. Yeah, Alex, it was good to get some fresh air today. T-Shot says, hey Johnny and everyone, sorry to hear you got COVID too. You finished your isolation last week, but still tired at times. Lots of fluids. Good to know you've recovered. It's good to see the I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice. It definitely doesn't sound right. I had this weird flicker going on. I think it's because I had my camera set to 60 hertz. If you look, you can see the lights are flickering. I think that had to do with it. So at some point here, I turned my camera off and changed that setting. Liz P really enjoyed the Amsterdam videos. Tell that to everyone else. The first few I did really well, and then less and less and less people have been watching them, but I built this channel based on Toronto videos, so I was kind of hoping the weekend I got back last weekend to get out and start making new content already, and then I would have had a nice mix of both places to put up on the channel, but I think COVID had other plans. COVID says Amsterdam, more like Hamsterdam. Well, it's not Hippodam. Whitby Dude, good question. Asks, did the people I traveled with get it? One did, one didn't. I traveled with 2 people. Ironically, the person I traveled with who was a doctor didn't get it. But they also had 4 shots and like were N95 masking on the airplane. Whereas I'm just wearing like whatever cheap thing I got off of Amazon. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. It's also possible that that person had it recently, right? Maybe they were just asymptomatic. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. So I realized when I was filming this one that I was following exactly the same route as the first Amsterdam video that I posted. Sapan says, how was the flight back to Toronto from Amsterdam? The flight was good. Airport experiences were good. The flight was a little longer coming back. It took 8 hours. It was 7 hours going there. I guess that just has to do with like the jet stream and all that. Flight was good. Walked off the plane right through immigration. 0 lineup, or customs. It was literally like 10 minutes from getting off the plane to ordering a lift. Possibly, Taylor. Julie tested positive in June after a trip to Edmonton. You felt so fuzzy-headed for the first 3-4 days. You watched TV shows and you remember and randomly ordered a new microwave. I watched Restaurant Rivals on Discovery Plus for some reason. It was like John Taffer and Greg Irvine. Like, I never watched their other shows, but for some reason I like watched the whole thing. And I couldn't tell you anything about it or what happened. Like, I was literally just sitting in front of the TV, like, not even questioning why I was watching this thing I had no interest in. It was a really, really bizarre experience. There's something going on. Clayton says, any type of rashes or this too sensitive? No. No, Clayton. Christine. Hello, Christine Camley. You always wear an N95 and you're very careful traveling. I guess I wasn't as careful as you. Well, the good thing is one of the people I traveled with is a doctor, and apparently everything I've been going through is completely normal. If anything, just having a sore throat and fatigue and dealing with it for the time period that I have is on the better side of things, so I should actually be kind of lucky. I don't know. JK says Soul is amazing. I agree. Soul is amazing. Todd says when he's sick, his IQ drops and he is comfortable watching stupid shows. I'm pretty sure my IQ right now is about 20. I do not remember where I put anything. The amount of times I have to search for this stupid thing every day. This is like my do-it-all remote control. At least with my phone, I can like find my phone. This thing, I have no way to find it. And it's like, I don't know. It's really annoying. I just keep it with me at all times now. JK says, have you lost your sense of taste? No, I haven't. But everything now tastes kind of metallic. Like, I used to love drinking sparkling water, but now it tastes kind of gross. Like, I still taste it, but it tastes like liquid metal at the same time, which is pretty nasty. PJ says, don't take that IQ test again. Maybe Maybe I should. Maybe I'll beat my other score. Thank you, Brett. LBHG watched Love on the Spectrum Australia Season 1. It was okay. Loved Michael. Michael was awesome. They brought Michael back for Season 2, actually. He was the best part of that show. Hello, Transportation Land. SR Gotts is here. Ed the Sock says the red light district stumbles are too hot for YouTube. T-Shaw's just getting her taste and smell back. No, my smell is there. Like, I have a bottle of cleaning vinegar, and if I open that thing up and put my nose in there, it still blows me away. So it's not diminished, it's just altered. Things taste different. They taste funny. But it's still there. If anything, it's like enhanced. Whippy Dude says not a good time for the bus driving game. At this point, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What kind of video is this going to be? I think I walked for like 10 more minutes before I pulled the plug on it. Marquez says, where are you going to travel next? I'm pretty sure I'm going to travel to Bangkok next. Yeah, Christine, I heard from my doctor friend that it's not super uncommon for that to happen. A lot of people have a lot of funny things going on with their taste and their smell. Unknown says, I got COVID from Amsterdam. I'm assuming. Although I tested negative on Sunday, I tested positive the next day. So all signs point to sometime around Friday, which puts me in Amsterdam. It's either that or the airport. Or possibly the plane. But I don't know. I have no idea. Jumbo TV says, any headaches? Not in a while. Nope. I haven't had a headache, and like I said yesterday, I felt great relative to how I felt earlier. I had no fever, I had no headaches, no chills, no aches or pains. But now today I'm supposedly negative. I still feel super, super tired. I'm just going to have to deal with that. Essergot says they're finding polio in the water here. In the U.S.? Wow. Everett C., glad you recovered with no lingering symptoms. Thank you, Everett C., for your $20 super chat and for your support. Thank you, Everett. That is very much appreciated. Yeah, the only, I think fatigue is the only thing, but even that's getting better. And hopefully I get my voice back. JK says Toronto is where they're finding polio in the waters, you heard. And we're not inoculated against polio anymore, are we? That is pretty scary. In your country, in the burbs, Bill Chow says Bangkok is good. It's a cheap, tourist-friendly city. I want to go to Bangkok. I want to go to Tokyo, actually, but they're not open yet to tourists. I want to go to like a city that I know fairly well. I think it'll make it a lot easier for me to record in and to do some live streams in, and I'll have more to talk about. I'll have more to relate. I'll be able to visit places that I know. Seoul would be another great city for that. But with Japan having its doors closed, I actually wanted to go to Japan instead of Amsterdam for this trip, but it became obvious that wasn't going to happen at some point. What is your favorite subway car? I have no idea. Jennifer Gallus says, get better too. You wish me a healthy and speedy recovery. Thank you, Jennifer. You got it June 2nd, and the sore throat was very painful like me, plus you lost your taste, but no fever and a lot of cough. Yeah, that sore throat was awful. It was like the worst. I couldn't even breathe without feeling pain. It was gross. Am I in like some alleyway right now? I think I am. I don't know where the hell I am. What would my commentary be like? Apparently. What's this? A lot of times you see that. That is by design. The scary thing is, I might have already contracted it when I was recording this, because this would have been Friday night before I flew back. Jumbo TV says, were there a lot of e-scooters there? No, and someone pointed out about how many of their streets are like cobblestone or interlocking brick, which would just be way too bumpy to ride an e-scooter around. And I'd have to agree. You'd want like a pretty badass suspension on an e-scooter. Otherwise, like, look at that surface. It looks smooth, but not great for being on an e-scooter. Thank you, Connie. LEBHD loves those corner alleyways. Mike T, member for 12 months, gold tier. Thank you, Mike T, for your support. You know what? I have an itch on my face that I'm just going to turn my camera off. Now you will never know. And there's a cafe. Cafe usually means bar here. And coffee shop means something else. Oh, that one is the 420 Cafe. Coffee shop. What's funny about those places is they do not let you in there if you don't have a drink. And their weed is stupid strong compared to ours. William says, Johnny, you still the best YouTube? I don't know, William. Probably not. I think over the past week, I have not been very good at this. Christmas says, do they serve coffee? Ironically, I don't think they do. I had a Pepsi Max every time I went. Central Street Station will be to the north of here. Whippy Dude says some of the streets look like it would be easy to drive or fall into a canal. Yes. And apparently that does happen fairly often. LBHG says, so you can't use the bathroom unless you buy. Yeah, that's a pretty common thing in the Netherlands. Not much in the way of public bathrooms there. Bill Chow says, in Tokyo, you should check out the Pod Coffin Hotel. It's not comfortable, but cheap. I already know that would just be a novelty, and after 10 minutes, I'd want to get the hell out of there. Bill. Julie says, you loved how quiet it seemed there. Obviously, lots of people talking and traffic, but no overly loud music blaring from every doorway. They seem to have either very good respect for sound or very well-enforced noise bylaws. I noticed that too. And the fact that there's so few cars, and the ones that are there aren't like revving their engines or driving like idiots. It's definitely a much more peaceful city to walk around. JK says, I torched my throat smoking all the weed. That was something I did, but I definitely had one night where I was a bit brutal on my throat. But not so much that you heard it in my videos. I think my voice was pretty normal in the videos that I recorded there. Novelcost says, the non-stop crowds are incredible. Must make Toronto feel small and quaint by comparison. You know, it's weird because I was riding my scooter around today, Toronto, thinking how much bigger Toronto was and how much bigger it felt. Amsterdam is kind of like being in the Magic Kingdom, if that makes sense. Like it's busy, there's people everywhere, but it just feels like you're in a big tourist area, so to speak. It was master planned, but it kind of feels like it was built to be like a tourist city, which is ironic since it goes back to the 1600s and the canals were actually built for shipping purposes. But just totally different vibes. Toronto feels big and it's built environment. Amsterdam feels busy and crowded, but not so big. Just very different feeling that the two cities give. Mike T says, so the Olds Cutlass you had back in the late 90s with the loud bass wouldn't have fit there. No. You might have been the coolest guy ever, though, if you drove that thing around Amsterdam. Obed's dream is to relocate and work in Canada. Well, I hope your dream comes true. Brad Palmer says he's great now that he knows Johnny's feeling better. You'll know I'm feeling better when I have an IPA in my hand. Who is it? Believe it or not, I had some DMs from people basically telling me I'm a baby and it's just a cold and I need to get over it. And stop trying to draw attention to yourself for it. Like, I just had no response. Just delete and move on. It's not just a cold. If it was just a cold, I've had the cold before. It's put me in bed for like 1 day tops, maybe a day and a half. This thing took me out for like almost a week. So it is not just a cold. Don't say that. You just make yourself look really stupid.
I think most of these event stages are running until about midnight.
T-Shot says, wow, they need a life. Liz P says, people can be morons. Definitely. And even if it were a cold, I still would have stayed in until I felt better. So I don't see how that comment made any sense. People are just trying to, I guess, downplay it. Like, yeah, I agree with a lot of your messages. I'm just reading them. Brandon Lope says, hi Johnny, how was your trip? Trip was great. I would do it exactly all the same again, except for Friday. I might have done a few things different to see if I could have avoided this outcome. But awesome trip. Don't regret it. Wouldn't really change anything. Highly recommend anyone going to Amsterdam. Full disclosure, that was actually my first time in Europe. And I have relatives in the UK as well. Paul Fun says, did you test for COVID, bro? I tested every single day since Sunday. I watched my test meter go from strong to faint line to really faint line to no line. It didn't start off faint though. It just went from nothing to like super strong line. I know some people it starts off as like a little faint line and that's how they know it's gonna come on later, but COVID Hippo says, you remember when you used to spam on this channel when you first started watching? You used to spam here? Under what name, sir? Maybe I can retroactively ban you. Just kidding. Gaby says, I would love the UK. Should definitely go check it out. Hopefully, probably not this year because I'm not going to travel again during the summer or fall. Oh, I think we're somewhere here. I might risk getting copyrighted playing this audio, so I'm going to shut that down. This was their big Pride. This was the main stage for Pride on Friday night. Liz, 279. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Liz. Already feeling 1,000 times better than 3 days ago, which unfortunately is still kind of like shit. But fortunately, it's still much, much better. Thank you, Liz. COVID Hippo.
Hope you feel better soon. Sick face.
All right. This one is I forgot to set the tilt lock on my camera. And this is a bike ride with, I think the camera's going to be pointing a little too high. And we're starting at Central Station. Unknown says, hey Johnny, how did Arrive Can work? It worked. I already had filled it out before. So fortunately, when I re-downloaded it, it remembered my password and all the info. It worked well enough. It's just annoying that it's even required. Just imagine every single country you ever visit, or anyone ever visits any country for any reason, they have to download an app and put their life story into it. I think the whole premise is ridiculous. But to use it in terms of like your customs declaration, to have a digital version of that does make sense. And I think that's really the value in it. There's definitely something to be gained from it. But just to force people to download an app, I think, is a pretty absurd thing. And, well, you just have to be in the airport and listen to the people bitching about it. It was, for me, it wasn't that complex. It was not a big deal, actually. I feel like I'm complaining about something that was, like, not a big deal and took me no effort. But still, I'm, like, opposed to it in principle, I guess. Novell Costa, seems like 80% of the streets have separated bike lanes. Hard to even imagine. That's probably about the number. It is very different. See, I forgot to lock my tilt on this, so the camera is kind of floating around a little bit, which is not ideal for a bike ride since I can't see the viewfinder. So now it's okay, but at some point when I sit up, it's gonna like shoot up. Todd says, how easy is it to travel abroad without a smartphone? If you're Canadian, it's not easy at all. You're gonna need one coming back. Unknown herd, sooner or later arrive can will no longer be a thing. It should not be a thing now. And it was kind of developed under like a sketchy premise. Like there was no contract. It says like it was developed by, I think, the Department of Transportation. Yeah, I just see it as like government malware, personally. Gaby does not recommend traveling abroad without a smartphone. For Google Maps alone, it is worth it. Google Maps alone, even if you don't have a SIM card, from your hotel Wi-Fi, you can like download offline maps, go out and use the GPS. That alone makes having a smartphone worth it when you travel, especially in a new environment or new city. Minicat says for seniors it's a nightmare. I have witnessed that. Johnny Strides, you missed Christopher, £3 super chat. Did I? Christopher Haydock, £3. Sorry, Christopher. You'll have to forgive me in my brain fog. Thank you very much for the £3 and the support. It is much appreciated. As my voice hits a register it doesn't normally do. Today when I started filming my video, right off the bat, I do my intro and my voice just went like all the way up to like squeaky register or whatever you want to call it. And I had to turn around, go back and restart the video. I'm like, I am not having that at the start of my video. Jeanette Morales, $10 for an IPA when you feel great. Thank you, Jeanette Morales. Thank you very much for the $10. I'm expecting to feel great next week, so I'm expecting to have an IPA next week. Sunday, I don't know, but definitely next week. Marquez says Bangkok. Oh, someone asked where will my next vacation be to? Abigail. Yeah, I'm thinking Bangkok. I'm thinking. I need something a little lighter on the wallet than this trip. Something I can get more mileage out of in terms of stay there a little longer, spend a lot less money, enjoy it more, get better content for the channel. And I think that particular city ticks all those boxes. So that is what I'm targeting for like October, November. The only thing that made Amsterdam affordable for me was the fact that I used Aeroplan miles. So I basically didn't pay anything for my flight. And I was sharing some of the hotel costs. So the actual day-to-day in Amsterdam was not expensive. It was cheaper than Toronto. But the hotel is a huge, huge expense there. So that's really what killed me. Whippy Dude says, I guess you'll see trams like those on Line 5 someday. These trams, they're different, but I kind of like our streetcars better. Maybe I went on one of the modern trams there. Yeah, I would dare say our streetcars offer a nicer rider experience than these trams, just purely from like a boarding and a sitting down and what it's like to be a passenger in them, but we're splitting hairs because, I mean, it's like Coke and Pepsi. It's not that big a difference. Marquez says my room didn't have a fridge. Yes, as I have mentioned in every single video that I made, my room does not have a fridge. Every time I listen to one of my videos, I'm like, are you bitching about the hotel room again? Did you not remember that you talk about this in every single video you record? You really need to shut up about that hotel room. And what's funny is I have a review coming up of the hotel room. So yes, there'll be more bitching about my overpriced hotel room. Una says, do you ever feel guilty about buying something? No. DJ Ian says, you should take it. You should take an Air Canada first class. No, I should not. Brad Palmer, for the next IPA when you're feeling better. Thank you, Brad Palmer. Thanks to Brad and Jeanette and Everett and Christopher and Liz. I'll be hopefully enjoying a nice stock of IPAs next week. I only have one beer in the fridge right now, and it's a light beer. But I'm not going to touch that for a few more days at least. Nobel says Hotel Karen, but thank you very much, Brad Palmer. Did you see any Dutch paintings? I think so. Jeanette says, good night, Johnny and friends. Got to cook dinner for your cranky hubby. What are you making? I wanna see what Jeanette makes for dinner. Have a good night. Thank you for your support earlier, Jeanette. And I need to get back to people on Patreon and members who have sent me messages. I've got it. Like, I've just not had the... I know I've been home all day, but I just haven't had the attention span to sit down and go through that. But I did see that you upgraded your membership, Jeanette. So thank you so much for doing that. Spaghetti. I was thinking are you making the spaghetti or are you making the sauce? Because I can cook spaghetti. Boil water 10 minutes. Rinse it out. Put a little bit of salt in there. Heat up some store-bought sauce in the microwave for 2 minutes. Mix it all together. Throw some cheese on there and you're good. Brandon Lopes says, why can't I talk? You're talking now. Marie Palmer says, we had that too. Jeanette Morales says, meat sauce. Oh, you're cheating. You're putting good stuff in it. I just stick with the store-bought. Speaking of which, I have had Uber Eats way too much. I had Uber bring me Advil and Tylenol. That's basically been my diet this week, Advil and Tylenol. I didn't even know you could take them together. I messaged my friend who's a doctor. I'm like, what's better for like this fever and this headache and all this shit? Advil or Tylenol? And they're like, just take them both together. I was like, why was I thinking it had to be one or the other? So yeah, they've worked brilliantly, but I ordered that delivery, and there was a bag outside of my door with literally just Advil and Tylenol in it. So that was crazy. I ordered groceries. I do not want to look at how much I wasted just having stuff brought to my door this week. Marie Palmer says the only way to make it is with different ingredients. Rippy Dude says my breakfast smoothies would be suiting for a sore throat. The blade in my blender is broken, and the replacement blade I ordered didn't work properly. It was like a cheap knockoff from China, so the smoothies have been out of order for a while, actually. Mike T says the work is in the meatballs. To the person complaining that the chat is blocking them out, I can see it. Nightbot will block you if you break the rules. Currently riding my bike on a street going this way. I think I'm making my way back to the hotel, actually. Clayton Crawford says I am slightly out of focus. If I am, it is slightly. I don't know. I'm looking at my TV. It looks okay. Maybe it's just you, Clayton. I don't know. I'm okay with it. Now you got me looking at it. You're right. It does not look crystal clear, but it looks good enough, I guess.
Can you lock this back up for me?
Look at all the bikes and the people. Chris Mill says, what are real estate prices like there? It's one of the most expensive cities to live in Europe, actually. Quite expensive. I think I have no point of reference, but on the canals, one of the tour guides was like a 2-room, what you guys would call a condo here, is about €1,000,000, which is pretty much in line with what you'd pay in Toronto for something with that location. So pretty expensive. I think our overall cost of living is higher than there, but it's not a cheap city. And living in the city center seems so expensive. So they have a massive amount of people in the service industry servicing all the tourists. So I wonder where they live. Probably using that amazing transportation system and coming in on the thing. Bill Chow says my stream is not very clear. It looks 760p. The video in the background of my stream looks fine to me. I'm looking at it in 1080p. It looks exactly like what it's supposed to look. So I don't know. Hallie BHG says pretty waters. Joseph De Cruz says hi everyone. Hello Joseph. Let me see something. I don't know. I wonder if you guys are just messing around with me because the stream looks okay to me. Vivian Johnson is here. Good evening, Johnny and all the Stridesters. Good evening, Vivian. Thank you for dropping in the first stream in a while. Todd says he imagines he'll get run over by a bike in Amsterdam. Jennifer Gala, thank you for confirming that I'm not going crazy here. Thank you, SR Gods. I called this one Quiet Walk. Okay. This one is called Quiet Walk. Novell, that might have been it. Vivian says my voice does sound hoarse. Yeah, it is. I just want to see something here. Walks. I was mentioning earlier, Vivian, I had just the most excruciating throat pain on like Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think it has just left my throat in a mess. In terms of, it's just gradual, like it doesn't hurt now to swallow or anything, but something inflamed it and it's still rather agitated. Oh well. People are asking, is Lisa Palmer coming back to Toronto again? Are you on the VIA train right now, Lisa Palmer? I don't know, Bill Chow. It looks exactly the same to me on my 65-inch TV. I'm not seeing a difference. Vivian says, no late fees for the CEO. You have a special... Vivian, we're going to roll out the red carpet for you, even if you came 1 minute before the end of the stream. I have not the energy to be mean right now. Abigail, asking the real questions. What's your favorite food, Johnny? If I were to have a last meal, it would probably be a nice juicy prime rib. Gertej says there was power outage in Toronto. Yes, yesterday there was, and I wanted to go out and I wanted to record it, and I saw pictures of Dundas Square having all the screens off. But I was still feeling kind of tired, and I just took a COVID test, and I still had that faint line showing. And part of me was like, yeah, I mean, I've done my 5 days of purgatory, but at the same time, I'm not comfortable getting on a subway train knowing that I tested positive, even if I'm wearing a mask. Like, it just didn't seem like the right thing to do, to go downtown at that point and get that video. So I just decided, let's just let it go. There was also a big bike protest or bike ride on Parkside next to High Park that would have been really interesting to go to as well yesterday. And that would have made a pretty good video, but again, I decided to hold off on going out for another day or two, so that's why I missed that, unfortunately. Few good videos I could have made yesterday. Hopefully Ken got out and recorded some of the power outage. Johnny, can you block Brandon? We'll let the mods take care of that if there's something going on there. Whippy Dude says, did you try croquettes over there? Don't even know what that is, so I guess I didn't. Gaby says, alright, must dash. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Feel better. Thank you, Gaby. Have a good night. Thank you very much. I think this is the same street that was in the video I posted this morning. Leidsplein. But it's not like many people watch that video. So we'll just keep playing it again. Whippy Dude says sort of like a meat pie. I had stroopwafel. I had bitterballin. Novell says the police have been harassing cyclists in the park and you're vicariously outraged on their behalf. I have mixed feelings on that. Like, if you're whipping around an area with a posted speed limit of 20 going 40 and you're not slowing down for stop signs, then yes, F you deserve a ticket. Shouldn't matter. But if you're just riding your bike around Hyde Park and you're like slowing down at stop signs and the coast is clear and the police are getting you, but they're not going after like the 10,001 motorists who actually have the capacity to harm and kill people, I think that's pretty not right. And I think that was the source of a lot of the outrage. And there was a guy who went to High Park and took a radar gun, and every single car that drove by he clocked speeding, and yet they're going after the cyclists. So Vivian says try some hot lemon and honey for your throat. I keep hearing honey for my throat. It's probably a good idea. Liz P says some of the cyclists are out of control. It'd be nice if it was car free. I think the real solution, Liz P, is A, making it car free, but B, as you learn in cities like Amsterdam, it's really the design that encourages people to go fast. If there were speed bumps, if there were traffic calming measures, then it wouldn't be possible to go that fast safely or comfortably on a bike or in a car. So I think High Park needs a radical rethink. It should probably be closed to vehicles. Anything but like maintenance and emergency vehicles should probably not be allowed in Hyde Park. Did anyone see the video of Doug Ford swallowing a bee? Yes. I did. That was pretty ridiculous. Good thing for him, he didn't have to go to the emergency room, right? You know, he says that Ontarians are getting the health care they need. Yes. 14-hour waits at the emergency room, if it's even open, is definitely the health care we need. You know, good thing for him, he didn't need one. Liz P says, the design is bad, your street has traffic humps, and it's great. Yeah, it's ultimately, anytime you have a speeding problem or a traffic problem, yes, lack of enforcement sucks, but most of these problems ultimately come down to bad design that encourage these behaviors. You'll notice a lot of like residential streets in Toronto will be one way, And then at the next intersection, it'll be one way in the opposite direction. So that discourages through traffic, so you don't have people racing through. And then they'll have speed humps as well built in. So there are measures, there are like design measures that you'll see incorporated into the city that do that. My throat is drying up. I'm going to need to get a glass of water. I'm just going to leave this playing for a second. I'll be back. Okay, that should be better, I hope. Hallie BHG says floating chair. And there is me leaving my hotel. A little sneak peek of what it's like in the hotel. This one, I actually recorded this walk with my friends. So there is no audio on it. Also, I had to lead the way, as it just would have been awkward to record them. So that's what this one is. Marquez says video ended. Video ended, but a new one began. Sunjib says, what is the max bike ride in Toronto? Do you mean max speed? The max speed an e-bike can go is 32 kilometers on motor assist, but there is no speed limit. Trails, it's usually posted 20. In some places it's 15. Bike lanes and on the road, there is no limit, or whatever the posted speed limit is would apply. Clem bought a limited edition Amsterdam version Swatch watch while in Amsterdam. The strap has tulips, a windmill, and bicycles all over it, also in the Netherlands colors. That sounds really neat, Clem. And you got something that's pretty unique. Novell says the hotel looks a touch fancy. Just wait to the video. Unfortunately, my video has a bit of flickering light flashing going on, but you'll see. You'll see. Ali BHG says this reminds her of Salem, Massachusetts. I think I turned right and went over to the main street. Possibly here? Is this where I did it? This is where I did it. I think this was last Wednesday, I want to say. I don't really know. I was making my way over to the big food hall. So I think that makes this Thursday, actually. Ali says old streets and buildings. For all the praise Amsterdam gets, sometimes these sidewalks are a little narrow when there's actual vehicles rolling through on these streets. TTC Explorer says, gotta go eat dinner. Take care. Take care to you as well. Novell Costs with the hilarious pun, the witch city. I just realized you guys can see my water level out of my plastic IKEA cup. Clayton says, Johnny, are you able to use only this mic, or can you hook up an invisible mic? I don't think invisible mics exist, Clayton. But my other mic used to not see it, used to just be hanging, but I like the sound of this one. Also, this is a dynamic mic, so I've got my window open, but you can't really hear the cars going by. The fan is on, you can't really hear it. With my other mic, it picks up all those sounds, so I'm going to stick to this mic. Also, if I do any voiceovers or anything, this mic is the way to go. Now I have no idea what street this is or where we're going. You'll have to just bear with me as we walk around the Netherlands. Johnny, did you make it to Anne Frank? Says, you know, we thought we had reservations for that. Turns out we never got the confirmation, so just took a pass on it. Yeah, I didn't go to the big three things if you Google like best things to do in Amsterdam, I think the Anne Frank house comes up number 1. I walked by it. The Rijksmuseum comes up. I didn't do it. And I think the Van Gogh Museum is on there, and I didn't do it. I went to the Mako Gallery. I'm not really like a museum kind of person anyways. Sunjib says, hey Johnny, do you think that Air Canada is good service? I think they're really hit or miss. Internationally, they have always been excellent. And domestic flights and flight to the US, I've had okay experiences and some absolutely horrible ones. So it's a real mixed bag. But international, generally, I think they're pretty solid. I've never had a bad international Air Canada experience. Ali BH, she says, was the oldest building in Amsterdam. It's like there's a church. There's a big famous church right in the city center. And I don't know exactly how old it is, but that would be the oldest building. Thank you, Bill Chow. Red light lady isn't on the list of things to do, says Todd Boothby. No. I would say the red light district is worth going. Obviously, don't go at night if you've got kids with you, but it's worth seeing. It's like really interesting. It's basically like a big touristville anyways. It's not like that seedy. And there is like Moulin Rouge, and there's another show there that's famous too. And I just kind of assumed that they would be like trashy and didn't bother, but apparently I had some friends who went and they said they were pretty great fun. So I missed out on some interesting shows there. Clem says you're at Moco, lots of Banksies in there. Got a Banksy t-shirt in the gift shop. I walked right through the gift shop on the way out. I didn't check their stuff. I bought nothing there. Maybe I could have bought a t-shirt. Sorry, I'm battling my voice here. And I think I caught a tram just up ahead here. And what's funny is I thought there would be a machine on the tram to pay, but there wasn't. And I thought I could tap my card and it didn't accept it. So I like rode for free. So did my friends as well. But it was kind of awkward because I was like, yeah, every tram I had been on, there was a machine. Like it was easy to like arrange payment. And they had like a service booth with a guy in it who could help you. This one tram came up and there was like no way to pay. There was no machine on the platform and there was no like service booth on the tram. So literally just stole a ride. I feel bad about it, but I have a few unused transit cards that I bought and paid for and never used, so I guess they got my money back that way anyways. Clem says, thoroughly enjoyed your stay in Amsterdam. We got out just before the mayhem at the airport. Apparently that is cleared up now, and it's pretty good. Whippy Dude said, is Heineken common over there? Heineken and Amstel are both super common over there. They don't seem to have like the kind of craft beer scene that we have. And now we are in museum land. There's the Rijksmuseum. So this is just after the Moco Museum. There's the Moco Museum. Speak of the devil, we were just talking about that. That's where they had a lot of Banksies and Andy Warhols and Bankyat. I don't even know how to say it. Hey Johnny, you could always hire a sign language person on the right hand side to help you speak. All right, Clade, there's an idea. An interesting idea. And there is a bus going by. Clem says, been there. There's a really popular or well-known high street called PC Hoofstraat, I think, right around the corner from here. And I think I was making my way over there. That's basically like their Fifth Avenue or their Yorkville, their Mink Mile. Naval says Amsterdam has a tram network of 95 kilometers compared to 83 kilometers of TTC streetcar. We'll just wait until the Eglinton LRT opens. That's more of a tram than it is a subway. And we also have the Finch LRT opening as well. So we're about to kick their ass at something. Clem says, would you go back? Yes, but not for a very long time. I think there's a lot of other cities I'd want to see first. I mean, I haven't been to London or Paris yet. I want to go to Budapest, Prague as well. Like, there's some other European cities I'd want to go to, as well as I'd probably go back to Asia as well. There's one of the newer trams going by. That one on the right, you can see it looks actually kind of like our streetcars, actually. Should have tried your Presto card on the tram. Ali BH, she says, would I go to Morocco? Hell no, I wouldn't go to Morocco. Have you seen Morocco? That is like... Oh, I thought you were talking about Monaco. I was like, wow, my head is in the clouds. No, I would not go to Monaco. Monaco is stupid expensive. I could not afford a square on the sidewalk to stand on in Monaco. But Morocco, yeah, I would go to Morocco. There we go. Clem says Portugal. Yeah, Lisbon looks good. I still want to go to Energylandia in Portland. Poland. Holy shit. The brain fog is real, folks. Lisa Palmer would visit Toscana. Never been to Italy. Known some people from Italy, but never actually been myself. Morocco was on 90 Day Fiance. I am watching 90 Day the Other Way season 2. That was the one show I did finish while on COVID. While I was COVID. Well, I caught up on Better Call Saul. And I finished 90 Day Fiance the Other Way, the first season. They rode a camel in the desert. Alex wants to go to a lot of U.S. cities. Besides New York City, Buffalo. Buffalo's an easy one. Detroit's an easy one too. Philly, another easy one. Those are all pretty close. L.A.? What's the appeal in L.A.? It's basically a giant suburb. Been there, wasn't super impressed. Orlando is pretty cool. Boston is cool. Boston is pretty expensive, but cool. Clem says Tokyo is awesome. Got out just before the pandemic. I don't know how many times I've been to Tokyo. At least 7 or 8. It's probably my favorite city to visit, if it weren't for the cost. They've also, between Tokyo and London, I think like 18 out of the 20 best restaurants in the world are in those two cities. It's apparently a food mecca. Even for Western food, Tokyo is a food mecca. It's just Michelin star restaurants everywhere. Unfortunately for me, I don't eat at those kinds of places. I don't have the wallet to do it. But it's an awesome food city. Novell wants to see some Istanbul streams along with Tehran. There's an idea. Is someone streaming from there? Hello, Lauren. Welcome to the stream. Chris Mills would like to see a game at Fenway. My buddy hooked me up when I visited Boston, and he got me tickets at Fenway. We were sitting right on the first base side. The most obscure place you went to was Andorra. Vivian Johnson, buy some lemons or juice, honey, and make a good drink for your throat to feel better. Thank you, Vivian Johnson, $13.99. Unfortunately, I'm more of like a buy a pack of Neocitrin person, but since I'm still on order my groceries and order my food, there's something to add to the list. Maybe I'll go do some grocery shopping this weekend. Maybe, but thank you, Vivian Johnson. I've just been, the one thing that has been consistently really good for my throat is tea. Coffee, not so much, but just drinking tea has really, really soothed my throat. I don't normally drink herbal teas, but I've got a whole bunch of like just chamomile and green tea, and I've been drinking the crap out of that. But thank you, Vivian, for the support and for helping me get my throat better so my voice doesn't annoy the crap out of you guys. Akuma says, what do you think about Greece? It looks good. I don't want to lie and say it looks like something that I've been dying to go to for a long time, but I would definitely be down with going to Greece. Mark H says, congrats on 78,000. Thank you. We just hit 78,000 subscribers today. So thank you, Mark H. I said I wasn't going to make a big deal until we got to 100, and that's not going to be for like a year or two in a while, but thank you, Mark. Michelle says, is this street the equivalent of Yorkville? Yes, it is. Pretty much. I actually recorded a video of this street, like a pre-recorded one. I might not end up posting it. It was just kind of one of those like extra videos. I was thinking, what if I got COVID and I did it, and the Canadian government was the one who tested me from the airport, and I had to quarantine for 10 days. I better have a lot of videos in my back pocket in case that happens. So I filmed a few extra ones that I wasn't sure if I'm going to use or not, and this was one of them. What? I'm not sure the question, Deborah. I'm famous now with the pepper. All right, COVID Hippo, have a good night. Eunice says, what is COVID like? Not good. Like 2-3 days of living hell in terms of throat pain. At least for me, I went from like positive to negative pretty quick. Taylor says to get to 100K, yeah, I would need a convoy. Since Ottawa made a lot of followers fast for people who are walking around showing. Yeah, I saw that. I would rather have organic followers, not just like some big crazy event where everyone like awesome for that guy. But that's not the same audience that is going to stick around and watch the rest of your videos. Sanjib says maybe next year visit Vancouver. There's an idea. And we are just following this guy. Where are we? I don't even know where we are. Hey, a Dunkin' Donuts. We were walking by Dunkin' Donuts. Did you finish the sour neon worms? I did. DJ Ian says, come to the prairie. There's an idea. Would be nice to see a Quebec City stream as well. That would be cool. Walking Alice did a lot of great videos from Quebec City. Thank you, Harjot. As far as some people have been asking me through DMs and stuff when I'm going to go outside and live stream next, I don't know. Next week at some point. I want to get my e-bike fixed. My good long-range e-bike, because the back tire is flat. But I don't want to take it into a repair shop just yet. I just want to give myself a few more days to not be contagious, just in case I still am, before I go into any stores or retail environments. So I'm probably going to get on that thing when I get it fixed and do a live stream from it. Maybe I'll do a walking live stream, but not till like mid next week, I think, probably. Micheline enjoying watching me with Zuger and munching chips. Syed says, any plan to go outside Canada? Yes, in October or early November. Any Paneras in Amsterdam? I didn't see any, Eliz, or Ali BHG. Thank you, Eliz P. Dax0 says snack bacon. Vivian Johnson says, you don't think you'd want to go to other countries and eat the same food you can have at home? You know what? I didn't go to McDonald's on this trip. Normally I go to McDonald's. Oh, no, that is a bold-faced lie. I had McDonald's in the Amsterdam airport because there was 2 restaurants there. One was like a Jamie Oliver restaurant who's like a celebrity chef. Yeah, like I want to pay those prices. And the other option was a McDonald's. So I did go to McDonald's, but it was in the airport waiting for my flight to come back. But yeah, generally you don't want to eat the same stuff you can get at home, but I tried some of the local Dutch stuff that people. I had the Dutch pancakes. I had the bitterballen. I had the stroopwafel, but it's not really a culture that's known for their cuisine. Sunjib's asking what my plan is for tomorrow morning's video. It's going to be an e-scooter ride that I filmed today and was very not with it. we're going to give the Amsterdam walking videos a rest for a few days. I might put my Amsterdam airport video on Sunday. The airport video I posted last Sunday is like going off like gangbusters. It is doing really well. How many views is it at now? Video. It is already over 50,000 views, which is, for me, not too many videos get that high. So that video has been pretty good to me because my views on my channel have been up, even though I haven't been live streaming, even though my daily videos have been down, because a few videos in particular have done really well. So even though I had a shitty week personally, the channel has actually had a very good week, considering no live streams. So thank you, airport video, and all the people that are interested in them. Clem says everyone wants to see the airport. Nobody wants to be in them. I'm just going to get some more water. I'll be back. Taylor says those are good airports. Whoa, I just got kind of a dizzy spell just from getting up and sitting down again. If it wasn't so damn expensive, I would travel the world just making airport videos. I think that would be like a pretty cool niche on YouTube that would do well. All my airport videos, except for the Cancun airport, do really, really well. So I'm hoping the Amsterdam one does too. I think that's kind of a different airport, one I haven't seen before until I went there. Mike T really enjoyed the Amsterdam videos. Thank you, Mike T. There's only, as far as walking videos, I probably am just going to post a night walk, like a Friday night walk where it's pretty lively. And then the hotel video, and then the airport video. Then I've got a few more, just in case I run out of content or anything. I filmed one as a members video as well, so Patreon and channel members are going to get one. But I think we're almost out. Todd finds airport videos act like exposure therapy for him. They reduce his anxiety of those places. Whippy Dude says, how did your How I Packed video do? That was the most half-assed, low effort video I have ever made. I was literally sitting there waiting to just get up and go to the airport, and I realized, like, oh, I've got like 20 minutes. Let's make a video. That video has 960 views, which is above average for the Johnny Stumbles channel. Average is 630 to 820, so it's a little bit above average. And it has a 5.6% click-through rate. That thumbnail is the definition of lazy. I literally put my luggage on a table, put my live stream from Sunday on the TV in the background, and called it a thumbnail. Like, how not to do YouTube 101. LEBHG liked the what's in the bag. People like those videos. I put so little effort into that, but it's a fun video to make, right? Videos aren't ultimately, they're about, was it fun? Did you enjoy making it? People like watching it. And we are now back in Dam Square. Novell Cost has never made a luggage video. Why am I surprised? Vivian Johnson says, let's all remember to give a thumbs up for Johnny. He deserves it for coming on sick. I think you missed the start of the stream, Vivian, but earlier today I had a negative test. So That does not mean you have recovered, though, because I think the fatigue and the after effects are a very, very real thing, and they're going to be with me for quite a while. But at least I've gotten over one of the humps. But thank you very much, Vivian, for your kind words. For Kwok in Ghana says, nice stream, nice city. Mike T says, if I did a video in the suburbs. Yeah, I wish I got out to the suburbs. I was going to do a bike ride out to the suburbs, but I just never got around to it. Marie Palmer cheated and thumbed up on 2 devices. Thank you. Julie liked the packing video, but your downfalls to only take carry-on is shoes. Ooh. Maybe one pair of comfortable shoes on your feet, and then one pair of light shoes in the carry-on. Maybe just buy some knockoff cheap brand shoes when you get there. Yeah, I can imagine. And sometimes as well, like, I don't have makeup or cosmetics or like a curling iron, like all the things that really add up and make carry-on only impossible for some people. Just as a pretty maintenance-free person, it's easy to do. Thank you. We like your streams, always interesting and educational. Kami says, hi Johnny, great Amsterdam videos. Hope you enjoy your time in that place. Thank you. I did. Hi Johnny, next week you'll be getting a new Helix internet from Videotron. I'll be getting fiber internet. I was supposed to get fiber internet this week. The technician was supposed to come in and install me blazing fast fiber internet. But because of COVID, I had to reschedule that. And because Bell, I missed my first appointment. Bell rescheduled it. And I got a notice saying they're going to come this week. And I had to call them and be like, this week's not good. Trust me, you don't want to come in my apartment this week. So towards the end of next week, I'm going to get fiber internet. So looking forward to that. But it looks like we made it. We made it through the videos. I learned something. My voice apparently has a mileage limit on it. The more I talk, the scratchier and more irritated it gets. I think that's just something I'm going to have to deal with for a while. So I'm going to give my voice a rest, and I'm going to go drink some tea and watch some MMA. Tomorrow's video is already signed, sealed, delivered, uploaded. The thumbnail is absolutely terrible. I put no effort into it, but I finally have a Toronto video coming up tomorrow that I recorded earlier today. I'm probably going to do the Sunday night stumble stream. I'm hoping to feel even better by then and hopefully get some of the energy back. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and dealing with me and my hoarse sounding voice. Thank you to those who sent support. It is super much appreciated, especially since I couldn't live stream for like the last week. It has, it just makes an awesome difference. So thank you for that. Thank you to our members. Just thank you to everyone who tuned in. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you do want to see more videos, hit subscribe as well. Thank you, Mark H, Dave Hunt, Alex, Linda Jane, Jackson, T-Shots, Julie, Chris Mills, PGH, Sunjib, Syed, Vivian Johnson, Gertej, Marie Palmer, Brad Palmer, Cube Pog, Kami, and everyone else. Bernadette, thank you so much. Hopefully it just gets better from here. But I'll probably be back next week as well doing a home stream. But hopefully we can get out and do some in the wild as well. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And yoink, I will end it.